hands were once used for battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace.
Hey everyone.
What's going on, guys? Unofficial MCU here. Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Thor 4 trailer, Love and Thunder, as it's officially finally here. We have all types of theories, breakdowns, things that you may have missed, Easter eggs hidden throughout the trailers that we're going to be talking about. So without further ado, we're going to hop right on into it. The trailer starts out with a young Thor running, and he gets older and older as the trees pass by. And if you guys take a close look here, we even get some of those comic-accurate versions and suits here as well, which is a nice little callback, of course, to the comics. It's also in a little bit of a sense of a kind of a representation here of how Thor is aging, how kind of all gods age here in such a slow but yet fast manner compared to the rest of the world. You gotta remember that Thor is thousands and thousands of years old. Next shot we get here is some type of fiery place that Thor is walking through. Now, whether or not this is a battlefield of some sort, I very well think it could be the underworld, is where we'd finally be visiting here throughout the Thor movies. Seems like a very common thing here. And then again, it also almost looks like some type of flashback could be taking place here, and that's something I'm definitely thinking that we're going to see here throughout this overall film. The next shot here, Thor appears to be planting down, or like almost burying, Stormbreaker hammer here that he got in Avengers Infinity War. Probably one of the bigger changes here that we're seeing here with Thor 4 Love and Thunder is, of course, that transition going from kind of like giving the powers here to Jane Foster and her character, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. But I feel like one of the other things that is mostly very large here that's going on here with Thor 4 is that it's really opening up different possibilities here as well. It's almost like another Avengers movie at that, because this is the first time that we're seeing Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy as well, as they seem to be playing some type of prominent role here throughout the overall film here as well, since seeing them in Avengers Endgame back in 2019. So as I had mentioned, Thor has a whole new look going on here, and I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of a snippet here from an article coming from Den of Geeks. I'm going to have that full article linked down in the description, of course, and as it reads, okay, so this is a pretty stellar look for Thor, and probably the best suit the character has ever rocked in live action. The gold trim recalls a little bit of the God of Thunder Reborn design by Mike Del Mundo from the final volume of Jason Aaron's tenure as the writer on the Thor comics, but mostly this is a new suit and one of the cooler MCU costumes we've seen in a while. More color in a superhero movie suits, please, as it reads, and I have to agree with it. And this isn't the only, I guess, Thor suit that we're getting in this overall film here as well. He seems to have different outfits throughout the overall film here as well to kind of mix things up here, so that could also maybe potentially possibly bring up the idea of having different time jumps throughout the film here as well, maybe to cut up and bring us up to pace here what's going on with the current timeline in the MCU as of right now. But however, as I should mention, something that we do need to remember here with the MCU is that it is actually ahead of its timeline, as in the year of recording this video at least is the year is 2022, and right now the MCU is a couple years ahead of that. Right now it's about 2023, 2024, around that, and this is caused from that time jump with Avengers Endgame, as we had saw. So something that we've been seeing recently that Marvel has been doing here, especially with its Disney Plus shows, is not only introducing new characters during this kind of time period here throughout these last couple of years, 2020, 2021, 2022, and probably more into the future of next year and the year after that, 2024, and it's also kind of supplying a much more little bit of a backstory here for its characters as well, because some of these characters, such as Wanda Maximoff, just haven't had the chance to have any type of storytelling with the characters. They were kind of just picking and kind of thrown into the MCU, and that's no biggie really at all, but we're finally getting to see their actual backstories come here and actually be told. Something else I kind of forgot to mention here at the beginning of the trailer is when we do see Thor putting Stormbreaker into the ground, can be a little bit of a callback or a symbolism here, as Den of Geeks article also reads here, Thor burying Stormbreaker and walking off feels pretty symbolic considering that's the weapon he used to kill Thanos, thus exacerbating the chain of events that led to the bleak opening of Avengers Endgame that were put in the motion when he failed to stop the Mad Titan in time in Infinity War. And what that's recalling towards is at the beginning of Avengers Endgame, the Mad Titan Thanos has his armor in a similar type of position there, kind of being posted into the ground like that. The Guardians also playing some type of prominent role here throughout the overall film is something else I should mention and have mentioned here. But however, I should also mention it doesn't seem that they are going to be playing here throughout the entirety of the upcoming film, film, as this is a Thor film, and I would like it to be about Thor rather than the Guardians, so it seems like they're probably going to be dipping off midway through, and probably with Volume 3 Guardians of the Galaxy, it's probably going to be picking up directly from there, although it is going to be cool to kind of see that time spent that Thor has kind of been with these Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, and that could honestly potentially set up some type of spin-off show with Guardians of the Galaxy in a live-action format here, and also with Thor kind of telling that story and those different Avengers, maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor and the Ravengers had actually had here together here during this time period. Throughout the trailer, we also hear Thor is kind of conflicted here with who I guess he really is, and this is something a little bit interesting here because, well, the guy has had 3 solo films already, and he still doesn't really know his full potential, his full purpose here. And however, I kind of do have to say he kind of does know his full potential here, as we had saw in Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War there, of course, but he doesn't really know his true meaning here. So that being said, that there in itself is something that's going to be explored here throughout this overall film, is maybe a fluster of different emotions here going on as well. And even though it's not actually shown anywhere here in the trailer itself, it's because it's probably going to feature some type of spoiler here. It's going to have some type of connections here with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's going to open up a whole wide range here of different things that are going on here. Now, Thor 4 is going to be taking place after the events, I would probably presume here, after Spider-Man No Way Home and after the Multiverse of Madness here, as it is releasing after that there as well. However, we don't completely know that full kind of confirmation, and as I mentioned, there's probably going to be various time jumps here throughout the film as well, as he does seem to have a different orderly outfits here going on throughout this trailer here. So maybe some of the events here throughout the film are taking place before the events of Multiverse of Madness and also No Way Home, and then maybe the second portion of the overall film would maybe potentially be about what's going on after that there. The very end of the trailer reveals Jane Foster's Thor and her official Thor costume. Now, whether or not she's actually going to be like turning into the new role or the new Thor here throughout the MCU here is yet to be told, but however, my thoughts and opinions is something that is very, very likely. Now, Chris Hemsworth himself has come out to spoken and say that he would love to play Thor for as long as they would like him to have him around here, of course, but eventually that day will come where he just eventually kind of retires here and doesn't really want to play the role, or maybe he's just no longer really needed for the role and they want to continue on that storytelling, and not only that, but also the overall legacy of Thor, probably through Jane Foster. However, that isn't really to say that they're going to be getting rid of Chris Hemsworth's Thor anytime soon. They're probably going to be doing a few films and maybe even TV series here together, of course, for the next coming years. Of course, I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What things do you want to see here in Thor 4 go down and actually happen here? I'd absolutely love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Drop a like in the video if you enjoy it, as it was help with the channel, and check out Instagram on official MC for more Marvel related content, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.